What's it like playing Battlefield 6 with a light machine gun and a 200 round box magazine? Well, here's a little taste. So this is the L110. It's essentially the M249 SAW that you might remember from past Battlefield games. This is just the UK version of the same weapon. And one of the things I really like about Battlefield is that it gives you an incentive to use a weapon that doesn't have to reload, because this is one of the few shooters out there where you can expect to round a corner and see 4 guys, 5 guys, maybe see a stream of enemies continuing to come at you, in which case reloading your primary weapon is not an ideal situation. It might make you value the trade-off for a massive magazine over other quality of life features like ADS time or some of your long-range accuracy. And as soon as I saw that you could get a 200 round magazine for this gun, I made it my mission to figure out how to make that build work. And the hardest thing about setting up this gun with the 200 round box magazine upgrade is that, well, it takes 55 points to attach it to the weapon, which means you don't have a lot of other accessory points to play around with. In fact, I think DICE is actually going to have to change the point value of this box magazine because it started running into actual errors with the loadout setup, and I would get a loadout that I liked, try and save it, but it would be over the limit and then it wouldn't save it properly and I'd have to do it at the same time each round. Anyway, there were 2 important attachments to this weapon to make it work. Obviously, we have the 200 round box mag as one, and the other one is the most powerful laser sight that you can get. I think that's the green laser sight, which helps your hip fire accuracy as much as possible. I had to completely remove any sort of underbarrel attachment here, which would have been nice to help bump that hip fire even further, but I simply couldn't get one on the gun in addition to the box magazine. So basically with this loadout, you are absolutely ruining your ADS time with this weapon. This is not going to be an accurate reactionary type weapon, and you're going to have to get used to the playstyle. If you are used to running around corners quickly ADSing and laser beaming somebody in the head, well, that's not going to work with this gun because the ADS time shoots all the way up to 500 milliseconds. That's right, half a second just to aim down sights, which is why you need that hip fire accuracy, because in close quarters you're going to need to start shooting from the hip and then you can adjust to aiming down sights as needed. But if you have any chances of surviving in a CQB reactionary situation, you're going to need to rely on that hip fire accuracy. Now, what I like about this gun is that it's not terrible at range. Yes, you're going to get outgunned by assault rifles and other more accurate weapons that are better at medium to long range combat, but you just have volume of fire. So if somebody dives behind something and you can shoot it down with enough bullets, you can win those long to medium range firefights no problem. There really is a massive benefit to having an unlimited magazine capacity in Battlefield 6 or any Battlefield game, and I love running weapons that really just take advantage of that. The saturate your target philosophy. Now, naturally, you're going to want to run the support class when using this weapon for a variety of reasons. First of all, the support class doesn't get the movement penalty from running with a machine gun, so you can basically sprint at faster speeds, but also you get to rearm yourself when using a ton of ammo all the time. You get to revive your teammates and use smoke grenades, which I think is a good complement to this weapon. The other cool thing about smoke grenades is that with such a massive magazine, you can basically shoot through the smoke or the hard to see things and kind of probe for enemies in the smoke or other areas. You will get hit markers when shooting through smoke at enemies, and most other weapons that have 30 round magazines or even less in some cases, you don't want to waste that ammo probing in case somebody comes through the smoke and you need to take them down. Now you've got a reduced magazine, but when you got 200 rounds in your box mag, you can probe as much as you want. This will naturally also lead to a lot of suppression points. You'll get a lot of damage assist points as well. And while this might not be as tactically useful on the battlefield per se, it's certainly useful for getting a lot of points and ranking up quickly and unlocking stuff that you need. So it is a fantastic class for topping the scoreboard. Now, I did notice it slowed me down a little bit in my usual playstyle. It made me rely more on that hip fire when rounding corners, and when I expected to see an enemy somewhere at medium range, I would try an ADS even before rounding a corner. So stuff that I normally would do, but it really sort of made me reinforce some of the better battlefield habits that I might neglect with other kits. It also made me slow down a bit more, take my time, put down a support bag to regain my health, and kind of move through an environment a little bit slower, more methodically. And that tended to help a lot with this kit's sort of play style. It's not necessarily the kit I would pick as the first one through the front lines, but instead one that is good to push forward with other teammates or be a little bit of a thorn in the enemy team's side by moving around unpredictable environments and taking my time and setting up my kills. But without question, the main benefit of this kit is just dealing with lots of enemies. In a 1v1, you're going to want to pick just about any other gun because they'll have faster ADS time, better accuracy, better recoil control, all of that stuff. It's really just about the insane box mag and being able to put down endless amounts of fire or not having to slow down to reload and keep pushing, keep getting the flanks. And that ends up opening up a lot more opportunities than you might expect because Battlefield is really designed for that. Getting epic flanks and being rewarded with 4 or 5 kills for unsuspecting soldiers that didn't realize that their left flank had collapsed in the last few seconds and now you got a full box mag to deal with them. Now this weapon in particular offers a few different approaches and how you might want to balance it out. It gives you a little bit of player agency in your playstyle. You could always go with the standard 100 round magazine and give the weapon better aiming, down sight speed, better accuracy, that kind of thing. So it really comes down to player preference, but I hope DICE can give players this much agency with a lot of the other weapons. Some of the other weapons feel like they could easily fall into the danger of this is the best way to use this gun, period, and you should really not use any other type of loadout. So hopefully DICE can keep that flexible and fun and not convoluted, which they've already improved significantly in Battlefield 6, showing all the different stats and weapon stuff on screen. There's a few more things in there that I would like to understand better, like precision and control. I know what those two words mean and I can guess what they mean in relation to a weapon, but then when you read the details of an attachment and then see how it changes those two stats, it doesn't always line up, and I think DICE could do a better job of refining some of those descriptions or maybe even giving us a little bit more weapon data. It's been quite nice not having to go to outside websites just to get a grip on what I'm doing to the gun. Now, I'd love to bring the Loadout series back for Battlefield 6. Obviously, a little bit tricky to do it during the beta phase, but hopefully there'll be a lot of weapons, a lot of attachments, a lot of unique class gadgets and abilities to really mix things up and give players a lot of different ways to approach Battlefield 6. This video here covers one way to approach it with the machine gun, and I can't wait to get into all the other playstyles and the nuances and even discover some new ones that maybe we're not considering. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop me a like, subscribe for more Battlefield 6 content, and if you missed my Beta 2 weekend wrap up and summary talking about some of the bigger issues with the game, check out that video right here and let me know your thoughts. Also, let me know in the comments if you found any loadouts that you really enjoyed during the beta, and as always guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.